All right, so the first song we're going to be getting into tonight is going to be Tonight We Ride by Unleash the Archers. And I am not familiar with this band, so this is going to be a total new experience for me. The fact that they are signed to Napalm Records gives me a little bit of an idea that this is probably going to be a little on the heavier side. Just a guess. So I'm excited to check it out, so let's go ahead and get into it. Oh boy, it gives me like well, definitely first of all, like all the Mad Max vibes from the video for sure. Initially off the bat, but there was like a name that I had come up with like in my mind of like what I consider like this kind of like pocket of metal, if you will. And the only thing that I could think of is it reminds me of like Dragon Heart metal. I don't know why that's what comes to my mind, but that's what I think of as like the way that they play, and like the way they're like playing all those chords, and like it just reminds me of like that specifically. I don't know why. I can't even tell you why. Just bear with me, guys. Just bear with me. I can't explain it. I can't explain it all, and I have a hard time figuring out how to do it sometimes. But just yes. It's like dragon scale rock. Oh my god, her voice is crazy, yo. All I could think about is how like this reminds me of like being like in like going like to like the theater and like watching a performance that this is like just happens to be the kind of music is just metal. But like the way that she sings, like she reminds me of like a theater singer, like someone who can sing like really well. Like her voice is unbelievable. It's really crazy. Like I said, it reminds me of like going to a show and hearing somebody like in a play that just happens to a musical that just happens to be like metal dragon rock. You know what I'm saying? Tonight we ride. I just can't get over like that same like thought that I'm having. That's all I'm thinking this entire time. Where I'm like, I feel like I'm at a show, and like when I'm like I'm getting like pulled in and entranced by this. It's pretty wild and pretty magnificent. There's a couple of things that have like thrown me off, like with like I don't know, like I feel like some people like had like really good like outfits, and then other people I feel like it's like I don't know if it was on purpose or something, but I feel like this didn't quite hit the overall mark for the video for me, where it feels like I almost kind of snaps you back a little bit into the reality of like where the music video I think was kind of taking you, because I feel like it sucks me in and then I'll see something that kind of like brings me back to reality. Does that make sense? But overall, like, you know, if I feel like I was just listening to this, I'm like, this is awesome. Like I said, it's taking you on a journey in a way where I feel like I'm watching something by what I'm listening to. Like the way she tells a story, like it paints a picture in your mind. Like I feel like a lot of great songwriters know how to like paint an image into your mind where you can like picture what's happening. And I feel like that's what she does really well in this. Oh my God, we're gonna have to go back and listen to this again because this has been like the, whew. Not to say that the rest of this hasn't sounded great, but this particular solo right here, this is my bag right here. Okay. Sorry, I got entranced again. She drew me back in. As soon as she started singing, she drew me right back in. But we had to talk about that solo for a second. Man, that was fire. It like just straight up fire. Like overall, through and through, everything that I love in his solo. Like he took you on that journey, and he told you a story through the solo. Like what I feel like a solo is either like just a moment to kind of do something cool and unique, or if you're gonna like give us like a little 30-second, 40-second, 2-minute, whatever you're going to do, you got to take us on a journey that's worth listening to. And he keeps you engaged the entire time. He keeps you like longing on like the entire time where you're like, oh, yes, just keep it going. Just keep it going. Like he's just never dropping the ball like the entire way through the entire solo. And like what I feel like it reminded me of, not as a comparison, but it reminded me of like what I feel like this band has really done, especially like in this song, reminds me of what I feel like bands like Bullet for My Valentine or Avenged Sevenfold have done, where like they're really great at like just randomly giving you like a lot of musicality with like the metal solos and intros and outros, where they can kind of come in and out of a song, where like you can get like a 1.5-minute introduction with like 0 lyrics, then get lyrics for like 2 minutes, and then go for like another like 2-minute solo, come back to lyrics for 3 minutes, and then just wrap it up. Or whatever, however like they try to do it, it's always engaging. You know, it's like, that's what I feel like what metal, specifically the genre of metal, is really kind of, I feel like at the core, like that is what really like truly makes a metal band. is when you're able to really do that. People can argue all day about like the sounds and what it's supposed to sound like and what the structure's supposed to be and all that, but to me, I feel like at the core, that's what I like about metal, is I feel like that genre does it, I think, specifically differently than a lot of like really other ones do. Like, don't get me wrong, like every different blues, jazz, blues, another great example is like they don't have a lot of lyrics in their stuff sometimes too, or they could have a ton. Another great example, but like, you know, how many of like the everyday songs do you hear are ever really structured that way? You don't really hear stuff like that on the radio, like, or in the mall, shopping, where you be out and about. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of stuff that we don't hear anymore on the radio. It's only like it's becoming more of a niche thing to like even music like this. You know what I mean? So you got to keep the rock alive, bro. You got to keep the rock alive, ladies. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to support all the rock and roll, like no matter what it looks like. You know, just some of that death metal is a little crazy though. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, that was sick. Oh, is there more? No. Just a promo. Just a promo at the end. Oh man, that was cool. I can't believe they really did that, bro. I can't believe they did that at the end. I can't believe that they found a way, you know, and that they know there's no way, there's no possible way that it was not a discussion when he started screaming. Like that first time that they ever heard him scream, like yo, man, like let's hear that scream one time. And he let it out, and they're like, yo, you kind of sound like Gollum, like a little bit. And they found a way to sneak in the word precious with him to be able to do a scream with the word precious, because it totally came out with the my precious, like, and just like. I'm never gonna not like think of that. Like I'm instant thought. I don't, like I said, there's no way that they didn't think that people were not gonna think that. There's no possible way that let's pull it up one more time. We gotta listen to that one more time. Let's hear it one more time. I'm gonna pull it back up. I don't normally do stuff like this. I'm gonna do it though. Let's hear the Gollum scream one more time. I still didn't go back far enough. Jeez. Oh my god, that riff though, that dun, 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 dun. Oh, I love it. Love it. There it is. There's the start of it. He's about to say, my precious. Renounce the precious. Oh my god. Renounce the precious. Oh my god. I promise, guys, I did not drink tonight. I promise. I'm not drunk. I'm just in a good mood. Shout out to Monster Energy. They do not pay me to say. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Am I acting out of pocket? Am I acting out of pocket? I gotta check the chat. I'm afraid everybody's gone now. Oh man, this was great though. Like I said, this overall, this is like, it's like almost like symphony style, if you will. And that's what I said. I feel like metal just can get, they just go into different like pockets and worlds that there's so much artisticness that is within the metal scene that I think they do that doesn't really get enough credit for. Does that make sense? Because people like really have a hard time getting past like the screams and some of the visuals that metal has to offer. But we talked about the dark and scary things don't scare me away. So it doesn't really matter. I think it really just matters more about the substance than anything. You know, you could have visual things of things and metaphors and all that kinds of stuff. I don't care, but you know, doesn't scare me away. So I see the beauty in the art in that way, but some of it just really isn't for me. Like I said, some of that death metal gets a little too crazy. It's a little too wild, a little too excessive for me.